23. Identity through alignment, becoming a coherent global organism. Every global organization begins as a collection of parts, regions, departments, cultures, personalities, histories. In the early stages of growth, these parts operate in loose coordination, connected by structure more than by emotional unity. But over time, if the internal architecture is shaped with care, something extraordinary occurs. The organization begins to behave less like a network and more like a living organism. It develops an identity, not merely a brand or a purpose statement, but a felt sense of self. And that identity is built not from strategy, not from structure, not even from vision. It is built from alignment. Alignment is the moment an organization becomes coherent from the inside out. In coherent organizations, people no longer think in terms of my region, my team, or my function first. They think in terms of us, not in a sentimental way, but in an operational one. They interpret leadership through the same emotional logic. They respond to urgency with similar instincts. They understand silence in similar ways. They calibrate risk and pace with shared intuition. They approach customers with a unified tone. They handle crises with a collective steadiness that feels less like coordination and more like intuition. This is organizational identity, not as marketing output, but as behavioral reality. One global automotive company began noticing this phenomenon when launching a major initiative across 12 countries. Normally, such initiatives were accompanied by predictable friction, regional variations in interpretation, differing sense of urgency, or competing priorities. But this time, alignment was so deeply embedded that the initiative unfolded with an ease no one expected. It felt like the organization moved as one, the project lead said. It was less like orchestrating and more like guiding something already alive. This was not due to perfect process design. It was the expression of a coherent identity. Identity emerges when emotional architecture becomes internal instinct. At this stage, teams no longer wait for leadership's emotional cues, they carry those cues within them. The organization becomes self-synchronizing. Even when communication travels across distances, cultures, and languages, the felt meaning remains intact. People know what we would do because the emotional logic is shared. This shared identity brings a kind of quiet confidence. Teams no longer fear misreading tone or urgency because they trust the emotional framework they have all internalized. They no longer wonder whether their region's interpretation aligns with others because the alignment is no longer something imposed, it is something lived. One executive described this as the moment when we stopped trying to be a global company and became one. She meant that the organization's identity was no longer something they talked about, it was something they embodied. In organizations lacking this internal identity, the emotional climate remains fragile. Tone varies unpredictably across borders. Decisions feel disconnected. Silence grows heavy. Crisis reveals fault lines rather than unity. Reputation fluctuates with leadership mood. Employees feel uncertain because the organization does not feel like a single entity, it feels like a federation of loosely connected parts. Identity in such environments becomes fragile, reactive, and easily disrupted. Emotionally aligned organizations, by contrast, possess an identity that is both strong and elastic. Strong because meaning is stable. Elastic because alignment is not rigid uniformity, it is shared emotional flexibility. Regions can adapt to local realities without losing connection to the whole. Teams can innovate without drifting away from intent. Leaders can change without destabilizing the culture. This elasticity is what gives coherent organizations longevity. Leadership transitions do not create emotional whiplash. New strategies do not fracture interpretation. Geographic expansion does not dilute identity. Acquisitions integrate more rapidly because the emotional architecture serves as an anchor. The organization knows who it is, not conceptually, but emotionally. One healthcare company experienced this when integrating a newly acquired subsidiary. Instead of enforcing immediate process standardization, they focused on emotional alignment, tone calibration, shared urgency language, clarity around escalation, and predictable leadership presence. Within a year, the subsidiary had adopted the larger organization's emotional signature, and the integration succeeded with unusual speed. They didn't adopt our processes, the COO said. They adopted our emotional identity first. The rest followed. Identity is always formed emotionally before it is expressed operationally. At this stage of alignment maturity, culture becomes self-correcting. When drift appears, peers address it before leaders notice. When tone shifts, someone names it gently. When urgency feels distorted, teams recalibrate spontaneously. When silence emerges in meetings, it is explored and clarified rather than feared. This reflexive self-regulation is a sign that alignment has crossed from practice into identity. A global services firm once mapped the moment this shift occurred. 4 years, alignment required conscious leadership effort. Then, slowly, team members began mirroring and reinforcing coherent behavior without prompting. Leaders described it as watching the organization take responsibility for its own meaning. It was not compliance, it was identity. The organization had grown an internal compass. This compass becomes particularly powerful during uncertainty. When external conditions shift, coherent organizations do not scramble for direction. They adjust with emotional unity. They interpret new challenges through a shared lens. They absorb pressure without panic. Their identity grounds them. Identity becomes resilience, it becomes speed, trust, and ultimately differentiation. At this stage, the organization's external reputation becomes almost inevitable, because what the world feels is the accumulated consistency of thousands of internal interactions. Customers feel reliability because reliability is lived internally. Regulators feel transparency because transparency is embedded emotionally. Partners feel confidence because confidence is not performance, it is identity. This is the strategic power of emotional alignment. It creates organizations whose identity is not dependent on a single leader, a single region, or a single cultural lens. It creates organisms rather than federations, systems rather than silos, coherence rather than coincidence. The next chapter begins the transition toward conclusion, exploring how leaders sustain this emotional identity over time, protect it against erosion, and carry it forward through growth, complexity, and change.